I'm going to go ahead and start that. And just for those who may be new, my name is Catherine Honeycutt. I'm the communication specialist for Better Business Bureau serving Eastern North Carolina. And I'm so excited to be with you all today. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. We have Tiffany Williams, who's going to be sharing during our Lunch and Learn today. Tiffany is of Organized Energy Coaching and Consulting. Some of you may have been on our webinar last month that she did with us, or you might have seen her at our Better Business Summit last fall. So we're really excited to have Tiffany back again. And she's going to be talking all about time management, which we were just talking before you guys joined, that's something we all could use help with in our personal lives and our professional lives. So with that, Tiffany, I'll pass it over to you to get us started. And before that, just quick housekeeping. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to drop those in the chat box. Tiffany's going to keep an eye out for that, and I will as well, and try to answer those as she goes. But if not, we'll definitely come back to those at the end. So Tiffany, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Catherine and Mallory and the whole team over at the Better Business Bureau for having me again. I feel like I'm just a friend and a part of the family now over there. And it's so great to see all of you guys. We were just talking, as Catherine said, and I think that time management is a thing that I don't care what your role, what industry you're in, everybody these days especially seems to have a thing. It's a thing, and we're all trying to figure it out, there is no right way because everyone's life is different. Everyone's responsibilities are different and all that. So this is going to be more so it's just a guide and to give a few pointers and tools, but obviously you guys are going to have to tweak it to what you need for your life and what your roles are. So today, after our last session, I thought about it. I said, you know what? And I don't know, for some of you guys that joined us last month, I thought, man, we didn't even really get to know each other. So Catherine, we built in some time for the end of the session to do a little networking. And some people had to jump back into work and others were able to kind of hang out with us for the after party. But we want to make sure that we do have a chance for everyone to just kind of get to know each other a little bit, just briefly, if nothing else. Because we do know that life does get busy and we know that we have so many things to do. And sometimes it is just awesome just to take a break and network a little bit. Before COVID, we would be out and doing that a bit within different settings for networking. And now I think we're just kind of stuck in the house, you guys, and we're not getting to have that interaction anymore. So I want to kind of start off with a little bit of meeting and greeting with you guys. So if you will, drop in the chat just kind of who you are and how we can connect with you. So if you have a link that you want to share, or just kind of let us know what your social media handle might be, if you're on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever you want us to find you and connect with you at. If we wanted to start this thing off, we're just going to start off with a few pleasantries. So with that, we're just going to tell each other good morning. We're just going to say who we are and how we can connect. So could you do that, guys? Could you just drop in the chat just who you are and just what you do and how we can find you? That way, if there's anyone else that's on this call that may want to be able to connect with you further, or you might want to kind of network later and do a coffee or something, we'll know what you do and who we might want to connect with. Does that sound okay with you? So if you'll drop your social media in the chat and all that, and then I'm gonna try to keep up with these questions in chat comments as we go through the presentation. So like I was telling Catherine, I feel like I have a command center here. I've got screens everywhere, but I want to be able to make sure that I'm monitoring comments and all that as they're going in. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys to do all the introducing and saying who you are and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump into our presentation for today. Now, I do want to say this. I am changing my presentation style. Thank you, Steve. I am changing my present, and I'll drop mine in too in the chat before we get started. You can find me, I'm just Organized Energy everywhere. I'm Organized Energy on Instagram, Organized Energy on Facebook, Organized Energy on LinkedIn. It's the same. And even if you're on Clubhouse. So I want to start off by saying, hey, Sarah, and Amanda and all of our other friends and try to keep up with that. But I want to know something really quick. That's off topic and away from time management. Are any of you guys on Clubhouse? Has anybody heard about the Clubhouse app? Is anybody utilizing Clubhouse? Anybody? And I'm watching for the chats to see. Okay, Maria, I figured you'd be on there. All right, you guys. For you all who don't know what Clubhouse is, the reason why I brought it up is because I'm having you introduce yourself and tell us how we can find you and connect. So Clubhouse, if you don't know, it is a new social media platform. I am not really big on social media, but I realize that in business, we have to be on social media. We have to be social if you're building a brand and you want to connect. And so it's almost a necessary evil. But Clubhouse is a new social media platform, and it's almost like it's like you just dial in and it's an audio, it's strictly audio, and it's almost like a party line. Like it's like just lots of people tuned in and talking, just running a conversation. And of course you're talking one at a time, but you're in a chat room on any particular topic. And hey, Colleen, I want to connect with you too on there. Colleen says she's on Clubhouse as well. But people, it's like different conversation rooms going on, and you can't show your face on Clubhouse. It's strictly audio. There's no posting. There's no putting graphic design up like you do on Facebook or anything else. You're literally just dialing in to have conversation. So anyway, I wanted to ask you guys that, because if you're on Clubhouse, I want to connect with some of you all. All right, completely off topic. Now let's jump into our presentation. The first thing that I want to know, if you would just drop in the chat, is what are your challenges as it pertains to time management and work-life balance? Just tell me one or two things that kind of is your thing. Like, what's your challenge in preventing you from doing it or mastering it the way you really would like to? Tell me if you would just drop in the chat, if you don't mind to share. And for example, I have polled people. I've been making it a thing to intentionally poll people. I'm going to put the URL, I guess I could say, in the chat. So I have this poll that's been going on, and it is at organizedenergy.co/hi-friend. Oh, email volume. Okay. I was like, I saw volume and I thought, oh gosh, is it down? Okay. Email volume. Yes, Blake. Same here. But I've been doing this poll and I've been asking professionals, and you guys can check out that site if you want, and you can weigh in on this. But I've been asking three things. What are your challenges as it pertains to work-life balance? What are your challenges as it pertains to running a small business? And what are your challenges as it pertains to working in the workplace? And so it's been, for the work-life balance challenge, a lot of people are saying they're wearing multiple hats, and that's, kind of a thing for them. Others are saying they just need help, like their work-life balance and their time management is being thrown off kilter because they need help. And others are saying they feel bad to walk away from work. They understand that they are to be on the clock from 9 to 5, or even whether you're working for someone or you run your own thing, they understand that they should have set hours for their work, but they also feel bad that when the punching out time comes, if they're not done, they feel obligated to keep going until they're done for the evening. And so that's throwing people off as well. And I see, Jody, you're saying you have too many things to do. Prioritization is a thing for Virginia. And these are common concerns for many, many professionals. And so we want to kind of tackle some of those today. And so the reason why I brought up Clubhouse is because today I'm wanting to do something a little different. I'm more interested in conversation than presentation. So I do have a presentation prepared for you guys, but I want to make this interactive. And so I want to do like we're doing right now. I want to see you guys engaging and sharing your responses as we're doing in the chat. So I want to focus on that and not completely on the presentation itself, because this is also, we want to share our challenges. We want to share some tips that we might have learned along the way, and what's helping the various ones of you I see yours, Sandeep, and that is definitely true. I want you guys to share some of the things that's working for you, because maybe what's working for you might work for someone else that's on this call today. Like what Sandeep said, he said, take time to disconnect, to truly connect. It's important for us to recuperate, refresh, and return with energy and focus. This works for me. You are so right, Sandeep. I actually just did a podcast episode just last week on it, on just being present. And it's so important to just be present. But we are so busy trying to check off everything off of our to-do list. And we're in that zone. We're trying to be productive, and we're doing it so much so that we are missing the opportunities to just stop and smell the roses, because we're just so focused on getting it done. And we are being more so human doers than human beings. You know, beings is what we're supposed to be, not doers all the time. So with that being said, let's start with the presentation. I'm going to start to share my screen. Yes, Jen, we all do. Wear too many hats. Absolutely. I'm going to share my screen, guys, so that we can jump into this presentation. I want to respect your time, but I want to engage with you. So I like these conversations when you're dropping comments in here. I love it. Jody's magic question: how do we fit exercise into our life? I get up really early to get my stuff done, really early. So the first thing that I want to start off by saying is that I am the principal, and this is Tic-Tocks of time management presentation. And I am the CEO, and I am the principal consultant of Organized Energy Coaching and Consulting. I have been doing this for 6 years now. I've been a small business owner. It'll be 18 years in August. But 6 years ago, I stepped away from the things I was doing previously, and I really just focused on the consulting role. And it has just been like living the dream. I love doing what I do. I work one-on-one with professionals, whether they own a small business or they are, working within a business or a corporation. I also work and do workshops and presentations. I'm a speaker. And you guys, I am adding to my title, published author. I've got a book that's coming out next month, and I'm super excited to begin to wear that hat as well. But the most important roles are those that you see beneath my picture, that I am a mom of 4, I'm a plant mama of 8, and I've got to update that to say 18 years of being an entrepreneur coming up in August. I do understand what it feels like to be overwhelmed. I have been married and working in the church and having different roles within the community, and a mom and running a business and all these things, and trying to wear these hats. It will just drive you into the ground, you guys, if you don't have a strategy and a plan and some sort of structure in place. And that's exactly what it did. I ended up being so overwhelmed. I suffered from anxiety, from depression, and I wound up on somebody's couch talking about it from week to week until I can get it together. And that's what it can do for you. It really can cause burnout and overwhelm if we don't get a handle on our time and our time management. But that's the reason why I love to do what I do now. I am a coach and a consultant on personal development, and that mainly pertains to work-life balance and time management. And I also teach business strategy because I absolutely love business. So all things, personal development, professional development, business development, that's what I do. All right, so the things that you're going to need as we go through today's session, a planner if you have one, and if not, that's okay. After the session, go grab yourself a really good planner. I prefer a mechanical pencil over ink pens, because things change. We know life just changes, and so we know that there are things that that we thought we were going to do or be able to get done, and we didn't. We had to change those plans. So mechanical pencils work best for me. But one of the most important two of the most important things we need is a made up mind, and you've got to be disciplined. Because if you are not disciplined and you don't have a made up mind, any excuse will do, and that will knock you off course. And then what you said you were going to start doing, those habits you were going to pick up, the habits you were going to break, it's so easy to just drop it because of the fact that you did not start off with a made up mind and you were not disciplined. So we definitely want to make sure that we have those two things. And those are things that we know money cannot buy, right? All right. So I want you to evaluate your current situation first. because we can't fix anything that we cannot face first, right? So I want you to evaluate your current situation. And I want you to think about, what does that look like? I want you to think about how busy your days might be, how busy your evenings and weekends are, and how busy they really shouldn't be if you had a different handle on the way that you manage your time. So we have to think about, what do your mornings look like? Are they hectic? Are you waking up super early to kind of, absolutely, Tanya, I love erasable. Oh, erasable pens, I've got to try those. I'm looking out the comments, you guys. But are you waking up and giving yourself enough time to ease into your morning so that things can go smoothly for you? Or are you waiting and sleeping in to the very last minute, and then you're jumping up and you're frazzled and you're just trying to get everything done at the last minute, and you're showing up halfway late or just barely on time, and things aren't like they probably could be or should be? So evaluate that, because you know your current situation better than any of us, right? Is your family begging for your attention, and are you finding that you really don't have that time to give them like you want to in the evenings and on the weekends? How are you eating? Because a lot of times how busy we are affects our diet, and that affects our health, and that affects our mood, right? And our energy levels. So all those things are to be evaluated and think about. All right. So I want you to consider your assignment. Your assignment. What I mean by your assignment is your purpose, your passion, your responsibilities, the things that you really are supposed to be doing, your assignment. Because if the things that are being thrown on your plate are not in alignment with your assignment, you have got to get comfortable with saying no. Because what that does is, if you're not doing things as in alignment with your assignment, your life assignment, your goal, your passion, your purpose, the things you're supposed to do for work, the things you need to do for your family. If you're accepting all these other things, or you're picking up things that really don't need to be picked up, then what's happening is it's taking you off track and off course from the things that you really do need to be doing that are ultimately fulfilling for you. And that then leads to burnout, because we're volunteering for things that we have no business doing, and we're doing things that somebody else should be doing or could be doing. But I want you to consider, when we're talking about getting our time management under some kind of control, looking at the things that are not in alignment with your assignment and Xing them off. Think about what your goals and your objectives are, because if you're doing anything in your day that is not in alignment with your goals and your objectives for the week, the month, the quarter, the year, your life, whatever, it needs to go. Again, considering what your passions are, some of us are doing things that we really don't want to do and really should not have to do. Now, I understand that life happens and we've got to pay the bills. So there are some things we've got to do at work that we just got to do because we got to pay the bills, right? But there are other things that are just energy killers and energy stealers, that we really don't need to be doing and we're not even passionate about. We're in relationships and friendships that we're not passionate about. And for why, you guys? Why? Because the ultimate goal is to be wealthy, not necessarily in materialistic things, but also be wealthy with peace and joy and laughter. And all those things come from the way we spend every moment, right? And so let's be mindful of the things that we're doing, and if it's not contributing to the things that we're passionate about. Our responsibilities. Think about when you're considering what needs to go on your calendar. Your responsibilities, obviously those are things that take priority. Your family, consider your family. You can't do everything, and it's not fair for you to try to if you have a family that's depending on you and they deserve your time and your attention as well. The other way to consider your family is also with your responsibilities there. Do you have to take Johnny to soccer practice? Do you have to take care of an aging mother or aging father or aging grandparent? So family responsibilities, but also family meaning, them wanting some of your time and they deserve that. And then also considering your values, because sometimes within our time management, we're doing things that are really not even in alignment with our values. We're doing things that we truly don't believe in, truly don't really have much business doing, and we're doing them anyway against our values and on our morals. So any of those things I want you to think about as you are going to be evaluating the way that you are going to revamp the way that you spend your time. All right. So we're going to eliminate distractions. We're eliminating anything that's not necessary. Anything that's not necessary. You guys have heard good, better, best, never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best, right? I heard that as a kid over and over again, and it still rings true that it's something that I remember in the back of my mind when I'm making consideration for what's going to go on my agenda, my planner, my calendar, how I'm going to spend my day, how I'm going to spend my time. And so I want you to do the same. So anything that's not, because it can be good. I want you to hear me clearly. There are some things that we know are just bad, right? They're just bad, waste of time. But there are some things that are good. And there are some things that are better. But are they the best spend for your time? And so you might volunteer for a civic organization because they need volunteers. And maybe it's within, it's supporting something that, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just it's something that's not really with the thing that you really support. You know, like you are a champion for a particular cause, and maybe this is something else, and they want you to help out. It's great that you want to help out and do some good in the hood. It's great. But do you really, is that a necessary thing for you? Is it even a cause that is really your cause, like the thing that you really love and are most passionate about? Or are you just doing it because they just want somebody to be a seat filler to do the thing for them? Because if you're unnecessarily adding, even if it's good, even in the name of doing good, is it good for you to do? Can somebody else do that good thing? Because is it taking away from the time you need to be spending on the things that should be your priorities? Right. And I'm going to give you all know, if you've been to any of the sessions that I've done for you guys with the Better Business Bureau, I think it's been like 4 now. And so you all know, if you've sat in any of them, the thing I relate to most is church. I'm a church girl, was born and raised in church. And if you weren't, that's okay. But the reason why I mentioned that is to say my example is going to be something from church. In church, there's all kinds of ministries and opportunities to serve, right? You can be an usher, you can be in the choir, you could be a Sunday school teacher, you could be a doorkeeper, a floor sweeper, so on. You could be a deacon, a preacher, all these things, right? And so in my yesteryear life, it was nothing for the pastor to ask for a volunteer to do this and to do that. And I would highly raise my hand. I can do it, Pastor. I can do this. I can be over that ministry. I can volunteer here. I can volunteer there. And in doing that, my family suffered because I wasn't there like I should have been. My business suffered because I was doing all these other things. I was suffering because I didn't have time for me. And so it wasn't bad, was it, right? I volunteered for something at church. So what was bad about that? However, it wasn't even the ministry or the gift that I was given. It's not even what I do. It's not even a part of my purpose or my passion. I just did it because they needed someone to do the thing. And so that's what I mean by good, better, and best. If you're doing some good stuff, but it's not good stuff that you have any business doing, get it off your plate. All right? Okay. So next, we're going to move on. And I want you to imagine and itemize. I want you to imagine your ideal day. Like, what would your ideal day really look like? Okay, I'm missing something. Oh, okay, Carolina. Yeah. I'm reading the comments here again. But I want you to imagine your ideal day. Like, in a perfect world, what would that look like? In a perfect world, what would you do from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed again? Like, what would that look like? And so I want you to do that now. We're going to take a few minutes and I want you to itemize that. So for those of you that have paper and pencil, I want you to write it out. If you have a laptop or a computer in front of you and no paper and pencil, type it out. But I want you to let me know, or write it for you. You don't have to share it with us. But what is your ideal day? What would that look like? For instance, if you're a parent, or you have a family, and maybe your ideal day is you wish that you could get the work stuff done, but that you can also make sure you keep a handle on laundry, and that you can also make sure dinner's done at a decent time, and that you thought about it early enough so you knew what you could cook versus at the last minute and you have no time, so you have to go out and buy something fast food instead. That might be your idea of winning for the day. Your ideal day might look like you're able to get to work not on time, but early for once. you know, that you're able to get in there early and prepare for work, and that you're able to get all those emails. Somebody mentioned so many emails that we have, and that's true. We are bombarded, right? But you might, in an ideal day, like in a perfect world, you'd be on top of those emails, and you'd be on top of the team, and keeping up what they're doing or whatever it is. But tell me, what is your ideal day? Or you don't have to tell me, but I want you to write that down. Just kind of start from the beginning and work to the end and itemize the things. And I'm going to give you guys about 2 or 3 minutes just to kind of write out a couple of things that you might have in mind for your ideal day. While you're doing that, I'm going to scroll through and see if I missed anything that to address in the comment section, okay? For you guys that are just joining us, welcome. We're so glad to have you join us. I do want to say 2 things while everyone is writing out their ideal day. One, welcome again. Please drop in the comments who you are, what your title is or what you do, and how we can connect with you online, okay? So that's for those of you all who didn't join us from the very beginning. Please drop in the comments who you are, what your title is, and how we can connect with you, because we want to network and make new friends today. That's number 1. And number 2, as you guys are doing that and you're just joining us, the rest of us, we are just talking about our ideal day. And in a perfect world, what would that look like? What would the flow of your day look like if you could have it your way? If this was Burger King and you were having it your way. All right. And I'm just going to give you guys a couple of minutes to come up with that. Because we're going to work with this. This is a working meeting, you guys. This is a working brunch. So we're not here just to watch a presentation. We're going to do some things that you can take back with you to the office. And I'll give you about another minute or so. Hey, Valerie, I see you dropped your information in. Maria. Okay. Okay, you guys, I love these comments. I'm reading through. Oh, Carolina, thank you for sharing these with us. And you guys don't have to feel obligated to do that. Thank you so much. I think it's awesome that you want to work in definitely exercise and even lunch, you guys, because for some of us, lunch doesn't even get worked into the day because we're so busy. So I love that. I am going to continue on, and you guys can kind of be thinking about that as we go on your ideal day. Because again, we're going to work with some of this stuff, and we're actually going to use these as we go. Hey, Amber. We are going to work with some of this stuff as we go on in the presentation. But I want you to think about not only your ideal day, this is a little homework for you. After this presentation, think about your ideal week, your ideal month, your ideal quarter, and your ideal year. I want you to do this because as you set up your days to maximize your moments, you can then begin to see the fruits of your efforts, because you'll begin to see additional productivity, and hopefully you'll be able to experience a little bit more peace of mind and less overwhelm and anxiety if you set your day up right. And because the days turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months, and so on and so forth. All right. So if you are setting up your calendar and you find that the things that are on your calendar are not in alignment with those priorities and with your ideal day, I want you to do this right here, set boundaries. Now, you guys, I want to share something with you, and this is going to be really important for a lot of you, because I know that most people, we want to please people. We want to make sure that we're making everybody happy, and a lot of us are not okay with a 2-letter word, and the 2-letter word is no. A lot of us are not okay with saying no. But if you're going to get a handle on your work-life balance and your time management, you're going to have to get okay with prioritizing you, because if you can't take care of you, you can't be any good for anybody else. It's just like if you're on a plane, right? And they tell us to put your own air mask on first in the event of an emergency before you can help someone else. And so we're too busy doing the opposite. We're too busy helping everyone else, and we leave nothing for ourselves. We have empty cups. A lot of us are walking around with attitudes and having temper tantrums, and we're not smiling as much as we could or should, or we have fake smiles because we're not fulfilled. And we're not fulfilled because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing because we're doing everything that everyone else is piling on our plates. They're taking junk off their plates and they're putting it on yours. And you don't know how to say, no, thank you. No, thank you. And so I want you to get okay with setting boundaries. I'm going to give you a case in point. And I'm really good at this right here. This next thing I'm going to tell you. I highly stand on the notion that time is a currency and it is your most valuable currency. You can lose money all day long in the stock market. You can make it back. You can lose a pair of shoes. You can ruin a car. You can go buy another one. You can, all that. You can get a divorce and get a new boo. You can do all kinds of stuff and get something back. But the one thing you can never, ever, ever get back is your time. And so I get one thing that irritates me is wasted time. It's worse than wasted money, right? And so when I say set boundaries, I mean not only for you, but for people around you. And you have to teach people how to treat you. Right, Maria? You have got to teach people how to treat you. Because if you don't, they will treat you the way they want to treat you. And they will disrespect your time because they disrespect their own. I'm going to give you an example. Someone set an appointment with me. People, they set appointments to meet. And I might check in, a half hour, hour in advance to say, hey, can't wait to meet you. See you in an hour, or whatever the thing is. And at that point, they'll respond. Someone responded and said, oh, I'm actually doing XYZ. Can I call you at such and such time? I'm just going to call you later today. I'm going to call you. No, my time is set up. My schedule is set, and I've got calls planned and scheduled. I've got meetings planned and scheduled. I've got work to do. I've got family to do. I've got me to do. And that's planned and scheduled. You don't get to just willy-nilly on my calendar and just say, I'm going to call you later. I know we have an appointment, but I'm going to disregard that appointment that I made. I'm the one that picked the time that I want to meet with you, Tiffany, but forget that time. I'll call you when I'm ready today, later. No. And you have to be able to be very polite in saying, well, I'm sorry, but later today, I've got some other things. My calendar is booked solid. Maybe we can reschedule for another day, or don't even give them that option, because that shows me that they are disrespectful to my time and their own. You can't just willy-nilly just not show up for meetings and then think, I'll have the meeting when I want. I'll call you when I want. No. And the same thing goes for you and the things you do. When people want your time, they can schedule it because it helps with work-life balance. But matter of fact, let me take a pause real quick. How many of you all have a scheduling app or a link so that if people need to get time with you to talk, to chat, or whatever, you can give them a link so that you keep it kind of orderly? Or even do you even use calendar invites? So I want you to do that right now. So just give me a yes or a no. Yes, you do use calendar invites or some kind of scheduling link, or no, you do not. Tanya is a yes. Okay, good deal. Amanda is a yes. Perfect. Amber, yes. Amy, yes. Jody, yes. Yes. Okay, Colleen, no judgment. Jen, no judgment. All right, you guys, I want you all to think about, absolutely, Steve, I want you guys to think about using a calendar invite so that people are on your calendar and you are scheduling your interactions with people at a time that's convenient for you. That works for work-life balance and time management. It's very important. Even my kids, yes, absolutely, Carolina. And so even with the kids now, of course, with the pandemic going on, we're not as out as much. There it is, that we used to be. But when the kids, before the pandemic, and the kids were in Girl Scouts and basketball and whatever they were doing, needed a ride to work or needed to ride getting picked up from work or whatever it was. I could not keep up. I'm a mom of 4, and I cannot keep up with everybody's schedules because I've got schedules too, right? And then I've got the 4 kids. And so it became a thing in my household that if you need a ride somewhere, if you need to be picked up from something, if you're having a meeting and I've got to do whatever for you, you've got a project for school and I got to buy some supplies, send me a calendar invite. I've got to know when practice is over. Put it on my calendar. You know, if there's a doctor's appointment or things like that, you know, with their dad, we would send calendar invites. You know, we would send each other. Absolutely. Oh, I love paper planners, Tanya. And you guys, speaking of planners, I have a planner that's coming out next month too. So I can't wait for that. I'm excited to bring that out to everyone. But anyway, I would have everybody add whatever they needed from me on the calendar. So my kids got used to creating calendar invites. Because that's the only way that I can function is to see it written down. Otherwise, I'm going to forget something, right? And so I want you guys to kind of get used to doing that. But if they are on your calendar and they disrespect that spot, then it's up to you if you want to say, okay, I'll let you back on there again. And you can, and sometimes we can be forgiving and give someone an opportunity to reschedule. Absolutely. But if you see that they're willy-nilly with your time too much, it's, what do they say? All business isn't good business, right? And so that's just the way it has to be sometimes. All right, so create routine based on your holistic needs and your responsibilities. So in your ideal day, you're going to think about your holistic needs. Holistic needs, what I mean by that is the things that help you be okay: mental wellness, emotional wellness, financial wellness, physical fitness, eating right, all that stuff. So say, for instance, in the morning, you want to start off, and everyone's different, right? But say, for instance, you want to make sure that you squeeze in time to be physically fit. So you might start off with like a little workout or something, or some stretches or yoga. You might start off with a shower and journaling for mental wellness, or you might start off with a morning walk, or, praying, or having a devotional time, or whatever it is that you do for mental clarity or for physical fitness. Or your holistic needs include eating right, vitamins or herbs or nutrients or breakfast or a smoothie or whatever you do. So your holistic needs, for me, I mean wellness, personal wellness, physically, emotionally, and otherwise, spiritually or whatever. So you create routines that incorporate those values into your day. Now, currently you might be thinking, how am I going to do all that? I barely have time to do what I do. Yeah, but have you evaluated the things that are on your schedule that you shouldn't have on your schedule? If you clear out some junk, if you purge, then you'll have more room to bring in the good stuff, right? But create routines based on your responsibilities. If you know that your kids need to be picked up from soccer practice on Tuesdays at 5, incorporate that into your day, to your week. Every Tuesday at 4:30, you've got to be heading to pick them up from soccer practice, but think about these things as you're setting up your day and your schedule. All right. Find ways to multitask. If you are at the soccer practice and you're waiting on the kids to be done, you can be doing your emails at that point. Maybe that's the time that you take and go through your emails. Or maybe that's the time that you're sitting in the car and you're doing your reading that you wanted to do for the day, or you're journaling, or whatever, catching up on whatever you need to catch up on. Those are ways. Find little moments where there's like little pockets of dead space and use them. Multitask so that you can get things done, so that by the end of the evening, you can relax and spend time on you. Practice makes perfect. So you set up this day, and I want you to think about the things that you're currently doing and get rid of things that don't belong on there, right? I want you to think about your ideal day and what that really could and what it really needs to look like. I want you to write out, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, what it should be. Write out an agenda for yourself. You guys know how to write out an agenda for a meeting. You know how to write out an agenda for anything else. Write out an agenda for your day, okay? And I want you to challenge yourself to see how many of those things in your ideal day you can really check off your list. It's almost like having one of those chores charts where you have everything, it's a grid, right? And you've got everything down of whatever the chores are. And then over to the side, you've got these squares for each day of the month. And you mark off today, yep, I took a bath today. Believe it or not, you've got to put that on your calendar sometimes, guys. But Check off, yep, I ate great today. I ate healthy like I was supposed to today. Check off, yep, I got in yoga this morning. Check off, yep, I was able to do a load of laundry before my day got started. Check it off. Yes, I was able to network with a couple of colleagues today. Yes, I was in whatever it is. I want you to challenge yourself to make it through this ideal day, this ideal agenda, and see how far you can get. They say that it takes 21 days to build a habit. And I want you to see if that's true, if you can make that work for you. But practice makes perfect. Will you do this perfectly day 1 or day 2 or day 3 or even week 1? Probably not. You're going to have this ideal day, and you're going to try to tackle it, and you just might miss the mark. And that's okay. We're not perfect. But if you try it again tomorrow, you dust your knees off and you try this ideal day again tomorrow, you'll do better. And if you try it the next day, you'll do better than the day before. And eventually it will become a habit, but it only becomes a habit when you set boundaries, when you eliminate distractions, when you are consistent with a made up mind and you are disciplined, when you articulate what these boundaries are to your family, to your friends, to your colleagues, so they know what your boundaries are and they don't cross them because they know you're working on you. Because right now we're working on us, right? Now I'll tell you another thing that I've been doing that's really been helpful, guys. On my calendar, I've actually been drawing a line, a vertical divider line. And so I've been literally making a note of home and work. And so I've been actually listing things, and I only give myself top 3 things for home and 3 things for work. I have not been trying to do this long, crazy list. If I get to it, cool. And if I don't, that's cool too. But as far as like projects to do or actual tasks to knock off the list, I want to make sure that I'm giving myself grace, that I'm setting myself up for success. And I don't want to feel frustrated that I made a long list for myself and I didn't get it all done. So yeah, I've got the routine as far as the yoga, the breakfast, the shower, the journaling, the work, the things I got to do for work. But as far as like extra stuff, like you're working on extra kind of stuff, I give myself a top 1, 2, or 3 things a day on the home column and on the work column. And those are the things I'm really focusing on, right? That I'm trying to do for the day. And so I divide on the calendar space for the day, I make a thing and I say home and I say work. And I've got 1, 2, or 3 under each one of those columns. And that's what I'm working on. And so that helps me get a sense of work-life balance because I feel like I'm not all in on work projects and I've not gotten around to the stuff I need to do personally for home or for me or for the family. I'm not all in and overly consumed with things that are going on at home that I'm not getting those projects that I need to be getting done for the business or work done. So when I see these things in my, on paper, for work and home, I'm able to tackle a little bit of this and a little bit of that so that I can try to make the most of my day. And I can end the day feeling like I was productive and I got some things accomplished. I don't feel frustrated. So I want you to invest in a good planner. I have checked out my Plan Well planner, and it says on my website right now, it's not. It won't be for another month or so. So this presentation was made with having it ready in mind, but it's not, so you can disregard that. But I want you, I'll have courses. When the planner comes out, the course will be rolling out as well. So don't go to the website and look for that today because you will not find it. But I want you to think about a CRM. We talked about this last month at last month's presentation a little bit, having a CRM. And a CRM is a customer relationship management tool that helps you with routine tasks if you are in the business world. So professionally, there's like a thing that will help you keep up with it automatically, like sends emails to your clients. It automatically invoices people. It automatically does whatever you might need it to do, almost, automated administrative kind of tasks. And so to help you with time management, you might want to invest in a CRM so that a lot of routine, mundane, administrative things can be taken care of and you don't even have to really touch some of that stuff. I won't go into that today because that's not the purpose of today's presentation, but I want you to look into it and see if that's a tool that you can use. So a scheduling app or some kind of software, we talked about that before, will help you manage your time. And also I want you to declutter your emails. One thing that was wasting our time is just going through emails. Again, someone mentioned that um, with having a lot of emails. And so what I do is I have my emails filtered. If there are people that are coming, that are emailing you routinely, people that are on your team with work, whoever it is, whatever it is that, create some filters so that you program your email so that anybody, whenever this person emails you, it goes into their own box, like they have their own folder within your emails, or this category of types of people go to this one folder in your inboxes or in your email boxes. And then do that for all the different categories you might come up with. And that helps you easily filter through your emails. And that kind of helps you keep a handle on those, because if some are more like spam, you've got those kind of categorized to go to your spam box, and you're not really having to waste time sifting through at least those unnecessary ones as well. But that also helps to declutter emails, set up a system for that. So I want you to prioritize spiritual maintenance. So whether that's, if you pray or meditate or whatever you do, and if that's your thing, if you're not, this is not a necessary thing. Self-care, make sure you're putting time in. You guys, I literally just painted my toenails for the first time in like a month or two. Just the other day, I was like, what? This stuff is shifting. I'm not even doing it, So Sunday, I thought, Tiffany, this is ridiculous. You're so busy working that you've not even changed your toenail polish. Ladies, if any of you all, or gentlemen, if you use toenail polish, just little things. So prioritize self-care as small as even just changing your toenail polish, whatever you need to do. But self-care, prioritize physical fitness. Again, that was mentioned in the comments even. Prioritize physical fitness, prioritizing your day, proper nutrition, and having a healthy diet. Those things are important. I want you to think about getting a partner, just like you would get a workout partner. I want you to get a time management partner. And I want this to be someone that's going to motivate you, that's going to help you stay on task, that's going to encourage you, someone that's going to hold you accountable and help you along the way. Someone that's going to remind you that you're human. So take breaks, get rest, and give yourself grace, because you're not perfect, but you can do this. And I might be that person for you. I am an accountability partner. Again, I told you guys, that's kind of what I do. So if that's something you're interested in, of course, reach out. I do have a podcast, and literally just this past week, I just recorded an episode about mindfulness, taking the time to smell the roses, taking the time to just be there wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I would love for you to check it out. It's literally called Be There is the episode. So you can go to organizedenergy.co/podcast and you can check out that particular episode called Be There. But really, my grandmother passed away around the holidays, the day before Thanksgiving. And my aunt, which is her daughter, she said the last time she was able to touch her mom was before COVID really kind of went into full swing, like right at the top of March, maybe. And she was helping her bathe at the nursing home. She rushed through getting her mom together, my grandma together. She rushed through giving her the bath and getting her dressed. And she's like, come on, mama, lift your arm, lift your leg. Come on, mama, do this. And she's rushing through it, right? She gets through that visit and she leaves. COVID happens and visitation is shut down. And they had to start visiting loved ones from outside, waving through the window. My grandma, months later, passed away, like I said, the day before Thanksgiving of this past year. My aunt never got to touch her mom again after that day. She was rushing through, giving her a bath and getting her dressed. And it was just a routine. It's what she did when she went to the nursing home every day. That was a thing she did. And she said, I wish I had stopped to enjoy that moment, to remember and enjoy what it felt like to touch her mom's hands, to enjoy what it felt like to smell her, to feel her, to hug her, to hear her voice. And we are so busy doing all the things that life and moments are passing us by. And we don't have a handle on our time management. We don't have a handle on our self-care. We don't have a handle on maintaining relationships, because we are out of whack. And so this time management things, guys, this being mindful, enjoying moments, smelling the roses, being intentional about every moment you spend and don't do anything that's not going to be fulfilling for you for the day, unless you just gotta make the money, pay the bills. But otherwise, don't volunteer to put some unfulfilling junk on your plate. Life is short. And that's all I'm going to say. So check out that episode. I think that would be an additional motivator for you to want to do better with your time management and being intentional about things that matter to be on your plate. That being said, if you will go to organizedenergy.co/hi-friend. I put that in the chat earlier. Organizedenergy.co/hi-friend. Go there, and there is a little survey. And it's the biggest challenges survey. It's the 3 questions I told you guys about earlier when we started this conversation. If you will complete that survey, I'll have your email address, and I want to send you some tools that I use to save my time. So there's some links to some scheduling apps. There's some links to some people you can outsource stuff to that's really cheap. I found some companies that do things on the low, y'all. Especially if you run businesses and you need some extra people, but you don't really have the money to really put in, to pay a lot out to have people on your team. So I found some really good resources that I use as a solopreneur that really work and save me a lot of time. So if you'll fill out the survey, which is like 3 questions, then I'll be able to have your email address and I'll email you this list of the goodies that I use to save time. All right. If you enjoyed this presentation, I would like for you to do one more thing. And that is, I would love for you to right now, while we're still together, Google me, go to Google and Google Organized Energy Coaching and Consulting. Just go to Google and Google it, Organized Energy Coaching and Consulting. You'll see, don't go to my webpage for this, go to Google and you'll see my Google listing, right? And you can rate the company. So I want you to rate your experience with this presentation today, if you don't mind. And just kind of, do the thing on Google so that people will know. And I think that is it on my end as far as what I had to present. I just want you to just remember to be an early bird. I want you to make sure that you arise early and get things done. I want you to arrive early so that you can just kind of be prepared for those meetings and be prepared for work. And I want you to remember to make every moment count. With your loved ones, for yourself, for community, for your work, for your family. And on that note, I think that's it. We've got time for Q&A. So do you guys have any questions or comments that I can help out with? Let's see. I want to go back through here a little bit, see if I missed anything. The alarm, Colleen, yes, I do have an alarm for my tasks. I actually do have an alarm for my tasks, and I actually have them programmed also on my calendar so that throughout the day, I already have time blocking set up on my calendar. So I kind of have a block. So like say from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., I know that that's self-care stuff. That's mental wellness, that is chores. So that's blocked off on my calendar, on my, and it shows up every day. From 7 to 9, I'm doing admin tasks. So that's checking emails. That is like whatever that needs to be, from 9 to da-da-da-da. And so, yes, I do have things time blocked so that I can keep myself on track throughout the day. And then let's see here. Yes, Colleen, absolutely. Definitely an alarm clock to wake up. Tanya, you have your Google Home set. Okay, so I'm just trying to go through and catch up on some of these. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Amy and Virginia and Amanda and Whitney. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you'll go over to Google, just Google me or Google Organized Energy Coaching and Consulting, go to that Google listing and do a rating. I would greatly appreciate it, you guys. Now, does anybody have anything, any other questions? I'm looking. Thank you, Blake. You guys are welcome. All right, Catherine, I think the floor is yours. You guys, oh, one more thing. You guys, please drop in the chat how to reach each other. I want you guys to network on here if you can. Let people know who you are and what you do. There might be somebody else on this call that wants to tap into what you do and use your services or something. So please make sure that you are letting us know who you are and what you do and how we can reach you. Give us your social media handle so we can follow you and support you. All right. And follow me, Organized Energy. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank you.